let's open Premiere Pro. In the top left corner, press New Project, give it a name, and then here, press on Create. So here is where all the fun stuff will happen. It might look slightly different from you because mine is optimized to how I want it to be. In the top left corner here, you will always have your files. In the resources section, you'll find a downloadable file that you can use here. Just open it on your computer and then drag it here. You can preview it by hovering over it, or as you can see below the pointer, there's this thing over here. You can press with the left click of a mouse and then press space and it will play. It's like a little preview. At the bottom here, we have a timeline. This is the place where we will work with our projects. This is the place where we can move them around, create effects, add music, and a lot of other stuff. So if we drag this file from here to the timeline and then drop it there, the way you can move through the timeline is with this slider here. Just hold it and then move it. You can scale up and down by holding the end of the slider, as you can see. And before you, in the big screen, on my screen it's here, on your screen it's probably to the right. We have our preview. And if I press play, I can either press on space or I can press here. It starts playing. Now, if we go to the top, to the sequence settings, we can see that this video is in 4K resolution. But if we want to change it to Full HD, we'll just enter it here, 1920 by 1080. Press OK. As you can see, it kind of zoomed in, and it zoomed in because first preview shows in 4K, then we make it smaller and it shows only HD, but the picture itself is still bigger. So now what we need to do is we need to press on our file, and then in the top right corner, this is scale. We just scale it down to 50. Or we can actually just enter a number. So it was 100. Now I want to scale it to 50, not 550. There you go. As you will see on your screen, the playback, it's to the right, but I actually prefer the effects to be to the right and the playback to be right in the middle, because that's where I look most of the time. This is what it looks like for you, probably. So you can put it to the right. As you can see, there's this magnet that's highlighted in blue, and it will show you where it's placed. I put it to the right, and then with these sliders, I can adjust the scale. I found out that this layout works the best for me, and this is something that you will just have to try out for yourself and see what works best for you. Now, to the left here, we have our tools. The most used tools are selection tool, which you can choose by pressing a shortcut V. The other one is razor. You can just press on C. And as you can see, each tool in the end has a letter, and that letter is a shortcut. So if I press A, it selects this one. But if I press P, it's going to select a pen tool. One of the most important things is saving your files. A lot of times when you work on big projects, your computer might get a little tired and it will lag and it will freeze. And if your file is not saved, you will lose all the changes that you've made. So one important thing is for you to press Command C or Control C, depending if you're a Windows or Apple user. And another thing, click here on Premiere Pro, Settings, Autosave. And if you're on PC, just click on File, Preferences, and then it's going to be the same. So we go into Autosave. So make sure you have automatically save projects on, and then automatically save every 5 minutes. So what this means is Premiere Pro will automatically save your project, whether you save it or not. And it will happen every 5 minutes. Just press on OK, and that will be done. Another thing is if we once again go into Settings, let's search for it, memory. If your computer is not fast, the way you maximize the speed is you go into memory. Make sure that you either increase this one or decrease this one. So what this means is that the memory of your computer will be prioritized, will be given mostly towards Premiere Pro, and then After Effects will do the same in After Effects. And it will be less for other applications. Press on OK. And if that's still not enough, then you will have to close every single application on your computer, aside from Premiere Pro on After Effects, whichever you're working with. So on Mac, it's either a force quit, or you just have to go to every application and press on quit. On Windows, it's Control-Alt-Delete, and then open Task Manager, close every single app that you have to make sure you're not taking the power of your computer towards something you're not using. Let's get back to the timeline. At the top here, we have our video files. At the bottom, we have our audio files. Because this video doesn't have any audio, it's blank. You cannot hear anything. But if I add a music to our file, I'll just double click on the video, and then I'll click here to drag the audio only, and I will hold drag the audio, and I will drag it down. And you can see that the video is 1 minute and 35 seconds, And the audio is 5 minutes 37 seconds. And you might be wondering, why do we have more tracks with audio at the bottom, with video at the top? Well, that's because if I want to have another video at the top and I want to change it somehow, I can do it like this. The same with audio. Let's say I want to have a couple of audio files. We can do interesting techniques with this, but that's something that we will cover in later videos. In the top right, you have your different panels: effects panel, captions and graphics, and all the other ones. I'll be honest, I'm just using the editing one, captions and graphics, audio, and that's it. If we go to captions and graphics, you can see it changes a little bit. And if we go into audio, it's going to change as well. This application is capable of a lot of things, and you are not going to use 90% of the things that this application is capable of. The same will be with After Effects. You might know the 80-20 rule. 20% of people produce 80% of work. 80% of people produce 20% of work. You will do 80% of the work with 20% of the tools. You don't have to know absolutely everything. I forgot to introduce you to the effects panel. If you add some sort of effects, or if you want to manipulate the audio or the video, you will do everything here. So this is your control center, control room. This control room controls everything that's selected here. So as we did in the beginning, we increased the size, right? This is what we did. Actually, let me delete the top part so that you're not confused. We can increase, decrease the size. We can move it around. We can rotate it. We can decrease, increase the opacity. Or we can press Control or Command Z, and it's back to normal. Or if we want to undoing the changes, we can press Command Shift Z or Control Shift Z and we'll go back. Now we can also come here. We can go into effects. This is the place where all of your effects will be stored. Just for the sake of saving time, I don't use all the other panels here. And I just use what I have here. We have a lot of different effects. We have telemetry effects, audio, video transitions, video effects, and then you can go into each folder and see what kind of effects we have. As you can see, it went black and white. This is Premiere Pro. Now, let's get into After Effects. It is similar, but slightly different. Open After Effects, create a new project. Press over here, create a new composition. You can change it to HD instead of 4K. One thing as well, if your computer is fast, you'll be able to edit in 4K way easier. If it's not fast, I would recommend sticking with Full HD. So this is what After Effects looks like. Here to the right, we have effects and presets. This is the same thing as effects here. We have our timeline at the bottom. We have our preview here. We have all of our files over here. So as you can see, it's very similar. All of our files here. This playback, it is here. Our timeline, it's over here. Now, why don't we add the same file? We just drag and drop it, and then we drag it from here to here. And once again, because the resolution of the playback is Full HD, but the picture is 4K, we just need to scale the picture down. So we click on our video, press S, it is for scale, press 50, and we've just done the same effect. Remember how we decreased the scale here? So we just did the same thing here. And by the way, we have similar tools at the top. Let's go into After Effects, Settings, Autosaves, or on PC, File, Preferences, Autosave. Autosave every 5 minutes, and then go into Memory and Performance. Make sure that RAM shared for After Effects and Premiere Pro is as much as possible. Then click on Save. As you can see, here at the top we have different workspaces, different tabs. I always just use one. It just saves a lot of time for me. I know you might be thinking that that's a lot, that's super hard, I cannot do it. Trust me, you can. It's not as hard as you think it is. For this video, we're going to stop here. If you have any questions, leave those below. Although I recommend you watching the next videos, it will answer some of the questions that you have. But if you do have any questions, please let me know, and I will see you in the next video.